Hi guys, my name's Serena. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I just went into Ulta and I saw that they had the e.l.f. and Dunkin' Donuts collaboration. So I just wanted to sit down and try a couple of the products that I picked up. I think I got everything except for the coffee lip scrub. So I wanted to sit down and try everything on camera. So I figured while we're doing e.l.f. that I would do a more affordable makeup in this video. So if you want to see this video of me trying the new e.l.f. Dunkin' collaboration, then keep watching. So I picked up the Donut Forget Putty Primer, and this is what the packaging looks like. This is so cute. It's like a little donut. It doesn't smell like anything. It feels kind of like a lip balm sort of consistency. I'm assuming it's more of like a pore filling primer. So I'm just gonna put it right here where I'm not super dry and I can probably handle it, and a little bit on my chin here. This is the e.l.f. Dunkin' Strawberry Frosted with Sprinkles Face Sponge, and it's so cute. It's like a big, huge donut, and this is what the sponge looks like. And I'm gonna wet it and see how big it gets. I'll be right back. Okay, so I wetted the sponge and now it grew a little bit. It's definitely bigger than my palm now, but this thing is literally huge. Like, this feels so silly, but we'll use that when we get to foundation. And I also got the Dunkin' Dozen eyeshadow palette, and this is what the packaging looks like. Oh, they're little mini palettes. How cute. I thought it was one big palette. So they come with 3 little mini palettes. I should have noticed from the back because it has 3 pictures, and then one's chocolate frosted with sprinkles, the other one's strawberry frosted with sprinkles, and then a Boston cream. And so this is the Boston cream little mini palette. This next one is the chocolate frosted with sprinkles eyeshadow palette. And then this last one is the strawberry frosted with sprinkles. So even the matte shades, it looks like for all of these, have somewhat some reflect to them, except for this brown in the Boston cream palette. All of them have somewhat of a slight like glitter reflect to them. Usually that makes them a little easier to blend, I've noticed, but maybe I'll insert some swatches right here so you can see what they all look like. The Boston cream eyeshadow palette. Strawberry with sprinkles palette. And this last one is the chocolate frosted with sprinkles. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and do my eyebrows, and I'll be right back. So I went and did my eyebrows off the camera and I'm back. I think I wanted to use all drugstore brands and drugstore like price ranges for this video. Just because I thought it'd be fun since I'm using e.l.f. And I'm gonna take this ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the color medium 20, and I'm just gonna put that on my eyelids to prime them for the eyeshadow. So I'm gonna try to use this sponge to blend it in, but it's really big. I just pinched it and it's surprisingly blending out my makeup like pretty well. I was really impressed by the chocolate frosted with sprinkles eyeshadow palette, so I think I'm gonna use that one. I kind of need a transition shade, and so I'm gonna take this color from the Boston cream palette because it's like the lightest brown that I have to use. We're gonna try to use this shade in the Boston cream palette and put that in my crease. So I'm gonna take a big fluffy blending brush. I'm gonna take the Morphe M518, and I'm just gonna take that color and put it in my crease. Next, I'm gonna take this deeper chocolate brown from the Boston cream palette, and I think I'm gonna try to deepen up the crease a little bit. So I'm gonna go back in with this super fluffy brush from Morphe. It kind of has like more spread out bristles, and I'm going to kind of buff out the edges a little bit more. think I want to try out this super blue shade right here from the Chocolate Frosted with Sprinkles palette. And I'm just gonna take that on my finger and I'm gonna pack it on my lid. So next, I think I'm gonna take this deeper chocolate brown from the Chocolate Frosted with Sprinkles palette, and I'm gonna put that on the outer half of my lid. So next, I'm gonna take the Morphe M518 again, and I think I'm gonna dip back into this chocolate matte brown color from the Boston Cream palette, and I'm just gonna run that on the lower lash line. So like I said, I wanted to stay with the drugstore price range, so I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop No Filter foundation and just pump some on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna take it on my giant donut sponge. Okay, so I just blended out my foundation with the makeup sponge, and I found out that it does blend it out very fast, but it soaks up quite a bit of product. So I found myself using more pumps of foundation than I typically would, but I mean, not the end of the world. It did blend it out super fast. So next, I am just gonna take my ColourPop No Filter concealer, and it's also in the color medium 20 that I used for my eyelids, and I'm just gonna use that to conceal a little bit under my under eyes. I'm gonna draw a line going down the bridge of my nose. I have a little bit of redness and irritation from my psoriasis right here. And once again, I'm gonna go back in with that donut sponge and I'm gonna blend it out. I just like to let it sit a second so it becomes a little bit more tacky. So I'm gonna switch over to my Morphe sponge and just kind of get into the creases there. Okay, so now that the concealer is blended in, I'm gonna go in with my ColourPop No Filter setting powder, and I'm gonna actually take that on my Morphe M536 brush, and I'm just gonna set under my eyes. Okay, so for blush, I'm going to use the NYX blush in the color Bitten. Okay, so for bronzer, I'm gonna dip into this ColourPop bronzer in the color Afternoon Delight. And I'm just gonna go in with my Morphe R14 and I'm gonna bronze up my forehead, a little bit on the cheekbones. And I'm gonna go in with this brush from Morphe, my angled brush from the black and gold collection. And I'm just gonna cut it down the sides of my nose and a little bit underneath. Okay, so I got my Morphe sponge out because it has that perfect line to the top. And I'm just gonna cut my cheekbones with the ColourPop setting powder. I'm also gonna cut the sides of my nose contour with the powder. And while that's baking, I'm actually gonna apply some highlight. So once again, sticking with that affordable brand, I'm gonna go in with this ColourPop highlight, and it's in the color Here Kitty Kitty. And I normally use my Anastasia highlighting brush, but since we're using affordable products, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe R36, and it's just a big tapered blending brush that I use for highlight. And I'm just gonna highlight the cheekbones so we can look like a glazed donut. So I'm gonna go in with the mascara that I always use, which is the Maybelline Colossal Mascara, the yellow one. I'll be right back. Okay, so I went off camera and I did my mascara, and I think I'm done baking. Now I'm gonna take my Morphe E52, and it's just a really big fluffy brush, and I'm gonna wipe away that bake. So I'm going to take my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and I'm just gonna set my face. I'm gonna take my NYX lip pencil, and I'm gonna take it in the color Nude Truffle, and I'm just gonna line my lips. And for lips, I got the e.l.f. Dunkin Glazed for Days lip gloss set, and they are in orange and pink. This is the packaging. This is so cute. They're little keychains. So these are the two lip glosses swatched. This is the orange and the pink. I'm gonna take the pink one. I swear these smell like chocolate to me. I don't see where it says that though. So yeah, this is the final look. Overall, I actually really liked all of these products. I don't think there's anything that was too bad for me. The sponge is actually pretty nice. It's just a little too big for the under eyes. But other than that, the eyeshadows performed like a lot more than I thought that they would. The colors were actually really good. And then the standout one for me though was definitely the Chocolate Frosted with Sprinkles palette. This one is definitely the most pigmented of them all, and it's super creamy. But yeah, overall, I liked everything. The biggest miss for me was probably the primer, if I'm being honest, but for the most part I pretty much enjoyed everything. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review of the e.l.f. Dunkin collaboration, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.